Yeah. Has anybody talked to Erick?
He's coming.
Yeah, he's on his way.
Good.
He's on his way, I think.
Cool. Fun.
What is
There's like a little bit extra fabric, Tina, so it doesn't like choke you, you know?
Huh.
I know, it's weird.
Take 2.
It's for dramatic effect.
More like take 5. I even put makeup on. Look at this.
Oh,
I know,
wow.
Tina, your hair's so cute.
Yeah, it's so cute.
All of you, look at you.
Love it.
I'm fine, it's okay.
Oh, look.
Friend,
Hey, Erick, you look great.
how are you?
Good. How are you? How's the job?
It's going
Yeah.
well.
Oh, good.
Wow, look at all of us. What are
Oh, you all look great.
this?
Okay, well, I think everybody's here, right? Cool.
Here.
Well, welcome everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today. We're gonna go ahead and get started here. So,
I saw my video.
Yeah. There you go. There we go. There we go.
Hello.
Hi, Rico.
Hi.
Surprise.
Pretty convinced I'm wearing my hat backwards, but it's okay.
look great.
Yeah, I don't understand this hood. It's weird.
I have to relearn how to wear a hood.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the Office of Student Involvement at DePaul University, welcome to our surprise Spring 2020 virtual commencement. While we know this graduation was not what you expected, we thought it was important to celebrate your accomplishments even in a virtual setting. You all have a lot to be proud of, and today's event is designed to celebrate those achievements. Before we begin, the ceremony is being recorded, so each graduate will be able to share it with family and friends. Before we begin today's event, please join me in a moment of silence to acknowledge the deaths of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, and Breonna Taylor. Thank you. We know that their recent deaths have been weighing heavily on everyone in attendance. As you prepare to depart DePaul, it's more critical than ever that you use your education and critical thinking skills to shape the world we will live in moving forward. We celebrate your accomplishments today, knowing that this moment both serves as a celebration of the culmination of your academic curriculum and the formal passage of you from the hallowed halls of our university to a practitioner and working in the rest of the world. We hope you leave today's ceremony both with a reflection from your positive experience at DePaul and clarity in your Vincentian values to stand for justice in the world. To begin today's ceremony, please join me in welcoming Tanisha Arnold to provide today's invocation.
Yay!
Welcome, everyone. As we begin today's ceremony, please join me in a quiet moment of reflection. I welcome you to bow your head as we begin today's invocation. Infinite wisdom, eternal spirit, source of all that is and all that shall be. We are grateful for this gathering. While this celebration may not be what we imagined, we are glad to be in each other's presence once again. You said that where 2 or 3 are gathered in your name, you are there also. So we invoke your presence with us today. We offer thanks for these graduates' success in this part of their journey. As they look towards the future, may they pause to reflect on the road behind them. They have met the challenge and kept the faith to the commitments of their studies. We pray for your continued blessings upon them and ask that you give them the courage to face the challenges of carving out their place in society. As they celebrate accomplishments and transition, may they continue to seek wisdom and clear direction over their lives. We bless those who have supported our students in their work, in the classroom, at home, and along the way. May they continue to hold sacred space for them and keep them encouraged on their path. And finally, we are grateful for DePaul, which has provided our students with a safe place to learn and a strong foundation to build upon as they take this next step in your world. May Vincentian wisdom always remind them to ask what must be done, then seek to do that well. For all that has been, we offer thanks. For all that will be, we say yes. To you, we give all glory, honor, and praise forever and ever. Amen.
Thanks for that beautiful invocation, Tanisha. As our graduates may have noticed, each of our attendees today are wearing academic regalia. Joining us next is Franco Sambataro to discuss the significance of academic regalia.
Thank you, Courtney. Hello, class of 2020. One of the most time-honored traditions of graduation is wearing academic regalia. This tradition dates back to the 12th and 13th centuries. During that time, gowns and hoods were worn by the students to signify their religious status. It also created a visual difference from the lay people of the towns in which they studied in. Some researchers believe that the hoods and the gowns worn by the students was meant to keep their heads and bodies warm in unheated buildings. Additionally, academic regalia provided more commonality and solidarity to the university as a community. Today, we wear different regalia to signify the level of the degree one is receiving. Baccalaureate graduates wear gowns that have pleated front panels and long pointed sleeves. The master's gown have long sleeves that are closed at the bottom. For those of you that go on to get your doctoral degrees, your gowns can potentially be worn open and will be different from the rest because they have velvet panels around the neck and down the front of the gown. Your doctoral hood will be longer than will have colors that signify both your academic degree and the college you graduate from. For the regalia you're wearing today, you will notice that there are 2 fabrics. The velvet edge represents your academic discipline, while the satin colors display your school, which is blue for DePaul. The colors assigned to each college have become standardized practice in the 19th century. From the research I did, one is led to believe that initially the colors carried over from academia in Europe, and more colors were added as new degree programs were developed. Erick, Sam, and Tina have a hood lined with light blue, and Kelly's hood will be lined in taupe or biscuit. While the history of regalia is interesting, regalia is even more important because of what it signifies for its wearers in today's society. Today, you wear regalia to commemorate this momentous occasion in your life. We join you in wearing regalia because we want to share in this joyous occasion and celebrate your major accomplishment. From me and all of the OSI staff, congratulations. We are so proud of each of you.
Thank you for those remarks, Franco. Graduates, few moments as special as this take place in a lifetime. As we begin this celebration of your accomplishments, remember to breathe deeply and enjoy this moment that you have earned. Recall a special learning moment from your time at DePaul. Smile and commit to that moment to memory. Silently commit to say thank you today to all those who helped you achieve what you celebrate today. Tonight, imagine the possibilities that exist around the exciting future that awaits you. As you know, earning a college degree is difficult. Currently, only about 1/3 of adults in the United States achieve a bachelor's degree. Approximately 8% of adults have a master's degree. As you participate in this celebration, you deserve to take great pride in your commitment to education. As we continue our celebration, please join me in welcoming our commencement speaker today, Betty Shanahan. Betty joined DePaul University as Associate Vice President for Administration and Operations in February 2017. Betty oversees DePaul's compliance, risk management, and environmental health and safety programs, and manages emerging initiatives and special projects for the Executive Vice President. Betty began her career as the first female engineer in Data General's development facility. There she gained notoriety as the one-woman engineer. When Tracy Kidder chronicled the development of many computers in the book Wired, called The Original Nerd Epic, Soul of a New Machine. Betty spent 24 years in the computer, electronics, and software industries in development, marketing, and executive management roles. During that time, she has been a member of teams for emerging technologies such as the first commercial parallel processor, graphic processing, and embedded smartphone technology. Betty left the industry to become the first engineer to serve as the executive director and CEO for the Society of Women Engineers. During her 2012 to 2014 tenure, the Society of Women Engineers experienced significant membership and revenue growth, including an international expansion in the organization's industry and engineering colleges. Betty's contribution to the engineering profession and diversity in engineering has been recognized by an honorary Doctor of Science from the University of Connecticut in 2013 and the 2016 Chair Award from the American Association of Engineering Societies. In 2010, she was the first woman to receive the Claude R. Erickson Distinguished Alumnus Award from the MSU College of Engineering. In 2018, she was one of 2 recipients of the Michigan State University's Alumni Grant Award for Service. Betty has earned a BS in Electrical Engineering from Michigan State University, a Master's of Software Engineering from the Wang Institute of Graduate Studies, and an MBA in Strategic Management from the University of Chicago Booth School of Business. Please join me in welcoming Betty.
Thank you, Natalie. And good afternoon, Vice President Jarsky, the team of the Office of Student Involvement, and 4 very special members of the DePaul class of 2020, Kelly, Tina, Erick, and Sam. Under any circumstance, it is an honor and a responsibility to address graduates as they transition to the next stage of their careers and lives. But in today's context, there is an obvious starting point for us to start that you know very well. What must be done? Asking the Vincentian question is a constant throughout DePaul, but I'll argue that it has never been more meaningful in modern times than today. The racial injustice that is a constant in the lives of many in our DePaul community becomes blatant in the killings of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and so many others. What must be done? While the pandemic affects all of us, for many, and disproportionately for people of color and lower incomes, the impact is extreme as lives and livelihoods are lost. What must be done? Climate change threatens our planet, and its impact is exacerbated by social inequities. What must be done? The burden St. Vincent faced was enormous, but the Vincentian question propelled him to not only tackle the inequities of his time, but also guide others for 400 years to act. While the burdens we face today may seem insurmountable, I find hope in the thousands of DePaul graduates, and especially you, Erick, Sam, Tina, and Kelly, are ready to respond to the Vincentian question. Yesterday, former Vice President Joe Biden said that the best way to bear loss and pain is to turn all that anger and anguish to purpose. That purpose is answering the Vincentian question. In this context, I also encourage you to find joy, a sense of accomplishment and excitement with this milestone. When my mother passed away on March 9th, my brother-in-law said to me, "Don't hesitate to laugh and be happy, even while you cry and mourn." As human beings, we can experience different emotions at the same time. Relish this ceremony that the OSI team has created today, and continue your celebrations of earning your degrees with your family and friends. You deserve it. I also encourage you to live your life now. Don't be tempted to wait until the pandemic is over, I can start living. I wait until I get my next job, then I can start living. I'll wait until the kids graduate, and then I'll start living. Until. I have probably been more guilty of that than I would care to admit. You can wait for your entire life, until you're ready to retire and realize the decades have gone by and you haven't lived your life. And one of my favorite songs, I actually call it my theme song, the folk singer Patty Larkin says, "You're living your life like you're doing time. Even in the midst of injustice, difficulties, illness, you can still laugh, you can still love, you can be passionate about your work, you can take time to care for your physical and spiritual self, and make time for the activities that bring you joy." As Patty Larkin says in the chorus of that same song, "The boogeyman will get you while you're lying in your bed. Take that pillow off your head. You might as well dance." You may not physically walk across the stage at the Wintrust Arena to accept your diploma, but I want you to dance onto your pathway from DePaul to your careers. And as you step, or hopefully dance, into an uncertain world, your situation is undoubtedly very different than your dreams from when you entered DePaul. But let me share some advice from my mother. I was a devastated 12-year-old because I had to apply to 4 high schools before I could find one that would accept me. In all my distraught feelings, my mother said to me, "What may seem to you to be a stumbling block may be a stepping stone to something greater." She was so right. That 4th high school was the best thing that happened to me. They transformed a shy kid. Yes, for those you, I think all of you know me, I was once shy. They transformed a shy kid into a relatively confident feminist heading off to engineering school. That was only the first of several times in my academic and professional life when I faced a stumbling block that was truly a stepping stone. Successfully completing your studies in 2020 has taught you resilience. Take that resilience to every time you face a stepping stone and determine how it can be, or every time you face a stumbling block, and how it can be a stepping stone. Some of the most personally rewarding positions I've held in my career were not the result of carefully formulated life plans or strategic decisions. They were what looked like stumbling blocks that opened up unimaginable opportunities for me. Let me close with 2 inspirational thoughts. The first is the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Now, I will admit I need to say this prayer very often. I will catch myself trying to, what I call, push on a rope. You see, you can't push on a rope. You can only pull a rope. But I keep trying to push on a rope. And that's when I find myself saying the prayer. When you find yourself pushing on a rope, accept that and refocus your energy into the courage to make a difference, to changing what can be changed. If you are blessed with work that you are passionate about, then accompany that passion with the courage to make a difference. I am sure from your work at OSI, you know there's nothing more rewarding than making a difference in someone's life. And my final thought comes from Mahatma Gandhi. Be the change you wish to see in the world. As Natalie said, I was the executive director and CEO for the Society of Women Engineers for 12 years. That is an organization dedicated to diversity in engineering. But we took a very large look at ourselves and realized we were not truly inclusive of everyone. And it was and still is a long journey to reach that ideal. But we had to be the change that we wanted to see in the world. So we adopted Gandhi's statement as our mantra: be the change that you want to see in the world. What must be done? Well, first, use all that you are as a member of this Vincentian community to be the change that you wish to see in the world. Then trust your skills, your courage, your values, and your heart to do what must be done. I actually have great hope for our city, for our nation, and our world, because you, the class of 2020, are inheriting it. My best wishes to you always. Congratulations.
Thank you, Betty.
Thank you for those remarks, Betty. In a moment, we will begin to honor each graduate. When your name is called, you'll be given the opportunity to speak on your experiences at DePaul, both inside and outside the classroom. Joining us today to announce the graduates is Rico Tyler.
Thank you, Courtney. And thank you again to Betty for sharing that wisdom. The older you get, the more you will appreciate it, believe me. I've been allowed to say a few words, emphasis few, and I promise. I know I'm a talker, but I will keep it to a few. I do want to say congrats to the graduates and acknowledge you're graduating at a very challenging time. You're not the first or last class that will do so. I think what's been challenging is that you've held multiple roles. You've been a student, but you've also been part of the mobilization of resources and support and triage for students in need. All this while caring for yourselves. And it's been difficult. But in accordance with Catholic teaching, how do we make meaning of this? It's been transformational. And transformational doesn't have to be necessarily bad or good, but you can't unsee what you've seen or experienced. The question, as Betty has stated, is what must be done? You are now Vincentians and you represent the DePaul community. So with that said, when we think about that adage, here we with the blank, it's time for you to insert your story. So with that said, it gives me great pleasure to introduce the graduates of the 2020 class. First, Sam Schubert. Sam will be graduating from the College of Education with a Master's in Education, College Counseling, and Student Affairs. Sam, congratulations on receiving your degree. The floor is yours.
Okay. I'm very nervous. I wish I wasn't going first, but that's okay. Mostly my notes are just a series of thank yous. So thank you all for always supporting me in both my personal and professional goals, for catching me when I fail, and for celebrating all of my successes and all of our successes, I guess. Thank you for helping me develop all my skills and for making me what I feel like to be a better advocate for students. I'll always be grateful for the office for, grateful for everyone's help and advice as I applied to my new job. And while it was very sad to leave before the end of the year, I am still very excited that I'll be able to volunteer for all of your events in the future. And more than anything, I'm thankful for the opportunity to have met all of you, because each one of you made me better. So thank you for all you've done for me and my fellow GAs. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Sam, and congratulations again. Second, we have Erick Beltran. Erick will be graduating from the College of Education with a master's in education, leadership, and higher education. Congratulations, Erick. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. First, I want to start off by saying, like, it feels great just to be reunited, even though it's virtual. I feel like I haven't seen you on forever. But I'll say during my time as a grad assistant, Office of Student Involvement, I learned a lot about the beauty of grounding my work for the care of others, which we call Vincentianism. I was able to live up to this value by producing meaningful work that help create lifelong memories, really, to our DePaul students and community. As a higher ed professional, I'm someone that believes in driving my work in transparency because it helps me understand the ideas, thoughts, and perspectives of others. At OSI, I was able to live up to the notion of that we adopted by Sam Parker, make great things happen. Great read, by the way. Thanks for the book, Courtney. Regardless of the field you work in, I believe that you'll be challenged regardless, wherever you work, whether it be in comfort or discomfort. The way we react to these challenges makes all the difference in how we grow as leaders. Fortunately for me, I was challenged in robust ways in an effort to help me produce the best work that I possibly could. Huge shout out to Pierre in that. This challenge was good to me, a very good challenge. I deeply want to thank you, OSI staff, and I wish I could thank the wonderful student workers because they also participated in this growth. For accepting me for who I truly am and letting me make this work my own. A special shout out to the graduate assistants because without them, the experience wouldn't have been nowhere near the same.
Thank you, Erick. Third, we have Kelly Kessler. Kelly will be graduating from the College of Business with a Master's of Business Administration, Business Strategy, and Finance. We are so proud of you, Kelly. Feel free to share your remarks.
Hi, everyone. To echo similar sentiments, I just want to thank everyone for such a warm welcome. I'm a bit of an oddball when it comes to OSI. Not only am I not in the College of Education, but I joined the team in January. So I was very lucky to be able to join after Sam's departure, but I knew I had big shoes to fill. But from my first meeting with Natalie, I knew that I was in a special place. It just laughter filled the office and hallway, and I knew I needed to be here. I just want to thank everyone for their support. You are just what I needed to finish out my life as an MBA student. You're resourceful, you keep me laughing, and you're the true definitions of team players. Even during a pandemic, you remind me that there is good in the world. A sense of community is something that I've craved at DePaul as an adult grad student, also in the Loop life. And I'm so glad I found myself at OSI. I'm glad to have met and worked with all of you. So I just want to thank everyone here at OSI, as well as SAFB and the Division of Student Affairs for the opportunity to serve. And a small shout out to the Cal Stat Graduate School of Business for the wonderful learning opportunities. I go into this world equipped to continue to be a lifelong learner, which is my life passion. And I'm equipped with the most important question of all: what must be done? Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Finally, we have Tina Roberts. Tina will be graduating from the College of Education with a Master's of Education in College Counseling and Student Affairs. Tina, congratulations on this major milestone. The floor is yours for remarks.
Yay, okay. So I've spent the last 2 years at OSI, and I genuinely don't feel like I worked a single day. Don't get me wrong, there were some rough days. But even through that struggle, I loved every minute of it. I think a lot of that has to do with all of you. I always knew no matter how long or exhausting a day might be, it was a guarantee that I would be laughing in the grad office or having a refreshing conversation with Tanisha or catching a glimpse of Pierre dancing outside Sarah's office. All of these moments are what made my experience exceptional. Pro staff, thank you for having faith in the grad assistants. Obviously, we look up to you as mentors and supervisors, but I never felt talked down to or less than. Your faith in us to produce great work really empowered me to grab hold of things and work as if I was a full-time staff member. Also, thank you for letting us put lamps in the office, even if you all thought it was dumb. It's a silly example, but it shows the autonomy and respect that we were given. I will never forget the time that we spent together, like the holiday parties at Natalie's house with the best cheese boards, the times we played video games at 8 p.m. waiting for midnight breakfast to start, or the time we got drenched and threw apples. I will take these memories with me, along with the lessons of professionalism and the intricacies of working with passionate students. There's so much more I want to say, but the orchestra is playing, so I need to get off stage. I genuinely love all of you, and I'm looking forward to staying in touch. And finally, I painted this for the office. It's a gnome wearing our sweater, holding midnight breakfast. Oh, this is a Ferris wheel from First Night Fun. That's the logo. And this is Best. And on the bottom it says, make good things happen. So I'll drop this off at the office. Thank you.
Thank you, Tina. And congratulations again to everyone. And I do appreciate the information regarding some of the compliance issues, but congratulations.
Thank you, Rico, for introducing our graduates. And to the class of 2020, thank you so much for sharing your remarks and talents. We're definitely going to hang that up, Tina. Next up, we have Gene Jarsky to officially recognize your degrees.
Well, thank you, Courtney. And I have to say that when I was first told about this and invited to be part of it, not only was I honored, but I was truly super excited, okay? I got to tell you, like each of you as graduates, I'm disappointed that we're not being able to honor you in the traditional way through the commencement ceremony at Wintrust Arena. You know, I've worked for 35 years in higher education. And I sometimes have colleagues and friends ask me, you know, how can you do that? I mean, isn't it the same thing year after year, the same routine? And I was like, no, I mean, every day is different and every year is different. But, you know, they say, but you don't get to see the end product. You know, people work in different things. And, you know, whether it's somebody who works in a factory, they see the car coming off the assembly line, or they see the contract that's been signed or whatever. And I was like, yeah, but for me, commencement, when I see the graduates walking across the stage, receiving their diplomas, the big smiles on their faces, the families cheering and everything else, that's it for me. You know, I attend every single commencement ceremony. And again, people say, God, isn't that boring? I mean, you're there for hours for the entire weekend. No, that's why we're here. That's why we do this. To me, it's what it's all about. And so, again, to one, participate in this is just super exciting for me. And two, to honor each and every one of you and make sure you know that while we're not able to honor you in the traditional form, your accomplishments, your goals here that you have fulfilled are no less important than any other group of students. And in some ways, this is a little more special because, you know, I spend particularly the College of Education, but I would do it for business too, okay? But any of our students that are graduating, I have my list of students that I try to watch for. Now, you guys don't come up on stage in order. So I really got to pay attention to be able to get up and shake hands. Well, you're making it easy on me because I get to see you guys right here on screen with, you know, Sam and with Erick and Tina and Kelly. Seeing you all here is just great for me to be able to congratulate you personally. And so again, super excited to be here. Want to wish you the very best as we go through, but I do have a couple of formal remarks that I want to make. So to begin with, DePaul University opened its doors in 1898 and conferred its first class, a set of degrees, on June 19th, 1899. The bachelor's degrees awarded that day were the start of a worldwide network. Since then, over 191,000 graduates have received degrees from DePaul University. Today, you join that network. As a university, it is our hope that you continue to reflect on DePaul's Vincentian question of what must be done. But even further, we hope that you will live the 5 Vincentian virtues of honesty, hard work, approachability, reasonableness, and self-discipline. Now be honest in all of your interactions, both with yourself and everyone that you interact with. Commit to hard work and continue to see the fruits of that labor. Strive for approachability. This will expose you to new and different ideas you never imagined. Always be reasonable. Tomorrow's leaders need level heads to better our world. And boy, don't we know that right now. And finally, practice self-discipline. Nothing comes easy, but a commitment to self-discipline will take you far. With these virtues, we know you will go out and change the world. Now, a normal part of the commencement ceremony is the conferral of degrees. That power is granted to the university president on behalf of the Board of Trustees in the state of Illinois. And you'll see that happen in your official virtual graduation in a few weeks. However, as Vice President for Student Affairs, I can offer our official congratulations and appreciation for the impact that you've had on our students and our university. We are so proud of you and the work that you've done. We look forward to seeing all that you will do as alumni. Again, congratulations. We couldn't be prouder of you.
Thanks so much for those comments, Gene. An important part of working in student affairs is a commitment to students. Before we depart, please join me in welcoming Rigo for some final comments.
Hello, class of 2020. I've always wanted to be a commencement speaker, so this is a bit of a dream come true for me too. So thank you all for listening to me for the next 2 to 3 minutes. So one of the gifts of pursuing your education at DePaul is being part of a values-driven community. Our university focuses on something you will not find at the forefront of many mission statements, a focus on what must be done for those who need it the most. As you transition into a career in higher education and other fields, Kelly, being mindful of you, always remember the tenets of Vincentian personalism that you have learned during your time on campus. Honor the dignity of each and every person you come across. Be an agent of creating an inclusive community and find ways to serve those around you. Honoring someone's dignity means taking genuine interest in their background story and who they are as people. As you work with others, make an active effort to listen and learn what is important to them. People will often reveal to us who they are and who they wish to become. It is on you to figure out what role you play in honoring people's dignity. It is on you to know the struggles and triumphs of those people that surround you, whether it is students, peers, or other populations that you serve. In higher education, community is of utmost value as it is a connection and relationship that we have with each other. Few great deeds have been accomplished by individuals acting alone and without a united front standing among them. As you go on to new colleges and workplaces, remember you are not only stepping into your role or position, but rather into a new community working together towards a common mission. Learn what the purpose is, explore the values that come with it, and challenge yourself to live up to those values. Be mindful of equity, diversity, and inclusion within these communities and serve as a voice for those who may be quieter than yours. Creating positive change requires a strong sense of community. St. Vincent's focus to be of service to others and placing their needs above personal gain is also of high importance. As you continue to work with students and colleagues, it is your duty to use your talents, knowledge, and gifts to help the people around you grow and move towards betterment. Helping other people brings the world wellness, joy, and inspiration. It is one of our biggest responsibilities as human beings and a major takeaway of your time at DePaul University. I would be remiss if I did not close this statement with words that you have heard hundreds of times during your time at DePaul. As you transition into the next chapter of your career, always consider what must be done for the greater good.
Thanks for those comments, Rigo. As we conclude today's ceremony, let me formally thank each and every one of you for your work for student involvement. Our DePaul community is better because of the contributions that you made to it. Whether it be working with our student government, activities board, funding sources, traditions, or voter engagement, you as a class have truly left a positive impression on each and every one of us and the students that you worked with. We wish you the best of luck, and again, congratulations!
Yay!
Woohoo!
Congrats.
Should I throw my hat?
Go ahead.
Dude. Oh, God. Can we move our tassel?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say move the tassel.
Yep.
Yes. Yep.
Your headshots.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, congratulations, everyone. We were supposed to play the fight song, but we might be having a little bit of technical.
Oh, is the fight song not playing?
Nope.
Oh, I think
You're not. You didn't click the.
Singing it?
Yeah.
Here, you saw that. Okay. 1 second. Here. Let's enjoy each other's presence as we enjoy the fight song. Hear it now?
Here we go, folks.
EMONS.
Woo!
Congratulations, everyone. We have one final announcement from Sarah.
Yes, congrats everyone. This is so exciting. So in typical commencement fashion, I just sent you all an email to have a photo shoot with some Zoom backgrounds of the quad on my Zoom account. So feel free to join me in my Zoom meeting room and we'll take some pictures.
Yeah, thank you everyone so much for joining us. Everyone, you're welcome to hang out if you'd like, but Betty, Rico, Jean, thanks for joining us today. And again, congratulations, graduates. We're really, really proud of you.
Congratulations.
Thank you all. Congrats.
And Tina, I really want a copy of your painting there because when I look back on the years here, these are the new traditions that you guys helped start and create. And so much and true making up to do wonderful.
Well, congrats everyone. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye all.
Bye-bye.
So we go to this